Good morning, Algebra 1A students. We are looking at the test for today, the equation test. I'm going to walk you through it, do some clarification, kind of guide you in the right direction, and let's get to it. Number one, and you pause this as needed and slow it down and rewind, whatever you got to do in order to, get this done, okay? So for number one, what you want to do here is we want to get m by itself. So remember, you go to subtract 18 from both sides. So I'm subtracting 18, and then that's going to give you what m equals, okay? For number two, this is -3 multiplied by k, so I got to do the opposite of multiplied, which is divide by. So divide both sides by -3. You're going to end up with k on this side. So 60 divided by -3 is what you're going to do on your calculator. For number three, the first step is I want to get rid of this -10 or this -10 by adding 10 to both sides. Okay, you're going to bring down this -3p equals whatever this is. Okay, your -22 plus 10. If you're wondering about your calculator, if you have a calculator like this, your negative button is right there. And so whatever this answer is, -22 plus 10, you're going to take that answer and you're going to divide it by -3. And then that's going to give you what p equals, okay? So this answer, you're dividing both sides by -3. That's how you get your p by itself. So this, you're going to take and divide by -3. Okay, for number four, this is n plus 6 divided by 9. I have to multiply both sides by 9 in order to get this by itself. So when I do that, I'm going to end up with n plus 6 equals whatever this times 9 is, okay? So -1 times 9 is going to go there. Then whatever that answer is, you're going to subtract 6. Subtract 6 from both sides, and that will give you what n equals. For number 5, I'm going to use the distributive property first. I got to take -6 times 4, and you're going to put an n with that. So whatever -6 times 4 is, fill in that blank. And then -6 times a -2. It's going to end up being something positive. And then you're going to have -6n still, bring that down, and the 162. This n and this n you have to put together. So whatever you got here for this answer, minus 6n more. And so you're going to have some number n. And then whatever this number is, you're going to just bring that down, okay? And then you're going to have to subtract this number from both sides. Subtract this, whatever this number is, subtract it from both sides. And then you're going to then divide whatever is with that n in order to figure out what the n equals. Okay, there's a lot to number 5, so you may have to, go back and start that one. There's a lot that, I can't show you because it is a test, but hopefully I'm walking you through it and clarifying it a little bit better for you. Okay, this one's a little bit simpler. 5 times 4, okay, that's a number you're going to put with m. And then you got 5 times the 5. So, and this is a plus, and it's going to stay positive. So whatever 5 times 5 is, that will go on that blank, equals 145, okay? So you're going to take this and you're going to subtract whatever that is and subtract it over here also. Okay, so that will cancel out over here, and you'll have whatever was with that m, and you'll have that new answer, 145 minus whatever 5 times 5 is. Okay, and then you're going to divide whatever is with your m. So m, once you divide it, it gets rid of it on this side. That's why you did it, and you're going to have that number here divided by whatever is with m. That's going to be what m equals. Number 7, I'm going to use the distributive property, -8 times 7, And so that's going to be an answer. I'm going to bring down my negative 88. And then negative 8 times a negative 4v. So you're going to, a negative times a negative is going to make it positive, and you're going to have whatever 8 times 4 is and a v with it. You're going to, this negative times a positive, this number is going to be negative. So you're going to add, you're going to do the opposite of negative, which is adding. Add this number to both sides, okay? That cancels out here. And then whatever your negative 88 plus whatever that number was, you're going to divide by what is ever with this v in order to get v by itself. Number 8, I'm going to take negative 6 times m. Okay, let me bring this stuff down because I'm not doing anything with it right now. And so negative 6 times m is just going to end up looking like negative 6m. Okay, and then negative 6 times another negative 6, that's going to give you positive something. And then you have this minus 3 back here. Okay. You got to combine these like terms. You're going to put these two terms together. And this negative 6m. And then whatever this is, it's going to be, you know, it should be, since this is a positive a lot, so it's going to be a positive something. Because this is going to be a lot more than that negative 3, so you're going to just subtract that. And then you still have your 27 minus 7m. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get m on one side. So I would suggest bringing the m over here, bringing this negative 7 and adding 7. You can go the other way, but I'm just going to do this because this will give you 1m on this side. And then whatever you had, this plus here, you're going to have to subtract from both sides. From here and here, and then that will give you what m equals. Okay. Number 9, I'm going to take that 6 times the negative n. Let me bring down this stuff. Okay, 6 times the negative n should give you negative 6n, and then 6 times a negative 5 gives you a negative some number. All right. What you're going to want to do is then, you know, get the n by itself on one side. And this one, you're going to end up seeing that's a special one. I'll give you two choices on this. It's either going to be, you know, infinite answer or no solution for number 9. For number 10, I'm going to bring down everything that I'm not working with right now. 7b, that's an equals. Okay, now I have a negative 6 times a negative 2v. That's going to be a positive something v. Okay, and then a negative 6 times a negative 4 is going to be a positive something. Okay, so that should get you started. You want to get these v's, put these two v's together. And so, you know, you'd bring down everything else that you're not working with. So you're going to have, you know, something v. Let me see. If this was negative 7, this was a negative, this is positive. So it's going to be a positive v. And then, you know, you're still plus whatever this number is. You're just going to bring that down. Okay, and then you're going to work on getting that v by itself. And you could go either way. You could subtract 5 or you could subtract this amount from both sides. And then, you know, then you want to get your other numbers together. So you'd either subtract this number from there or subtract this number from over here, both sides, and, you know, get that v by itself. Number 11, you have a couple distributive properties that you have to do, 8 times 1 and 8 times 4. So 8 times 1 is going to give you some number plus 8 times 4, don't forget to put it with an x, and then plus this 4x, and I'm just bringing that down. I'm bringing the equals down. Then you have -5 times a -8x. A negative times a negative, you're going to have a positive something x. -5 times a -1, that's going to give you a positive something. And then you have the +7. Okay, just fill in these blanks. Put your x's together. Put your these terms together. And then you're going to want to work to get x by itself on one side. Make sure you're showing your work, because I'm sure Ms. Buchanan wants to see your work and see how you're doing these, and at least give you partial credit as you're moving forward. Okay. If you have any further questions, make sure you're zooming in to me and I'll answer them. I just can't take you all the way through the problem because it is a test. So good luck.